Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Health Reflections podcast. Today it's not a solo, I've got a beautiful surprise guest. Her name is Roxanne, that's how you pronounce it, right?
Exactly.
She's here today with us and we're going to be talking about women health, which is very important. So welcome, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you for having me.
No problem, it's my pleasure. So, would you like to introduce yourself for those that do not know you?
Yes, so hello everybody. My name is Roxanne. I have launched a project which is called Rouge, where I try to help women find hormonal balance through nutrition and lifestyle changes. And I do that with consultations. I also have online content, and I also have a few products. So that's basically what I'm about.
Yeah. How did Rouge period start? Like the name and everything, the entire meaning?
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was younger, I had a lot of issues with hormonal acne. I had very painful and very strong periods, and I never really knew what it was, and I also never really knew if I could do anything about it. So I started to dig into it, and then with time, I started seeing that in function of my lifestyle changes and my nutrition, my periods became much better. My acne and my skin became much better as well. And so I really started to read into it and wanted to understand more about it. I also started doing a 3-year long nutrition course where I learned so much around the subject. And I was more and more I started understanding that so many other women were struggling with the same issues without really knowing if they could do something about it, and also where it came from. So that's how I thought, actually, this is what I need to do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring. I mean, you already know this. I always tell you that. The moment I found your Instagram, I fell in love with it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I've seen that you have shared a lot your, the process of your acne.
Yeah.
Then you have several reels, right? Showing how you fixed it. That's really inspiring because it's something that a lot of women do suffer with. Yeah,
it's tough to talk about these things, but it was really bad. My acne was really, really bad, and I think I have it more or less under control. Yeah. Of course, there are moments where it's worse, and there are moments where it's better. But
Yeah. I think it's really powerful what you're doing, because a lot of women really feel ashamed of their acne and they always want to hide it and also just like admit that they have it. Yeah. So I think you stepping up. Really,
thank you. Yeah. Well, it's funny because when I was really struggling with my acne, I was also very much hiding it. I was so ashamed, and especially with what I'm doing, I felt like I couldn't really talk about it, and people wouldn't understand. They would be like, "Oh, but you're in this, like, this is what you do, but you cannot have your own acne under control." And I knew exactly where my acne was coming from. I had a very stressful moment in my life. A lot of things happened on a personal level, which and the body is like, it shows when something is not right inside. It can be mental, it can be like nutrition, it can be like so many different topics. And for me at that point, it was really stress and like mental, I would say, and it was clearly showing through my skin. So it's tough to have to have your mental health under control all the time.
It is really hard. I feel like it's a process that it's always ongoing. You always go through new things. Like even one thing you finally fixed. I mean, this is life, the next day another thing might happen.
Yeah, definitely. And you can have real triggers also in your life that will, that everything will come up again.
Absolutely. I just there's one thing that you mentioned that I could really relate to. When I started my YouTube channel, as I was talking about like being healthy, what foods to have, I thought that I couldn't have cravings.
Yeah.
You know? Because if I was telling people advices and how to be healthy and the diet and everything, how would I have cravings? So I put a lot of pressure on myself at the time of doing that, you know? Or I was also, I do still today, give advices about like stress, anxiety, and all those kind of things. So, and also I had people telling me, well, do you never have stress? And I'm like, yes, of course. Well, then how are you going to talk about this? You know, and I felt like really pressured. And then like, okay, what about doctors? Doctors get ill. Yeah. Right? Still, they're doctors.
Of course.
Psychologists and therapists, they go through their own things in life, but still, it's wonderful that they help other people. So,
and nobody's perfect. Yeah. I mean, I also like to have, I go to a party every now and then and have a little glass of alcohol or even more. I love having dessert. It's not because I don't recommend having a glass of alcohol that I never do it. Yeah. But I think that's all about finding your balance, your own balance, which suits for you. Yeah. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs. Everybody goes through different things in their lives as well. And so, I think it's all about balance.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree because, I mean, the scientific field here, so obviously I know that alcohol is not good. I do like wine.
Yeah, of course.
But I think it's just about lying to yourself. Yeah. You know, like, we don't lie to ourselves. We know everything, but we sometimes choose to do it.
Exactly.
I'm in the keto diet because I really believe, like, not the strict one, but like the low carb, because I really believe it's healthy. But I do have my cheat days sometimes, you know? Of course. I've got my days where I'm like, I want the pizza. Now, here.
Yeah, I think that's only healthy.
Yeah.
We live in a society where we have also this how do you say that? We have candy, we have transformed and processed foods all around us all the time. Yeah. And just saying no to it all the time and being super healthy and going to the extremes into the healthy pattern, I think is unhealthy. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you can do it, it's totally fine. The problem comes when a person is really struggling to actually do it. And then when they give up, that is the worst part because they overdose with all these bad things. Exactly. So that's what you mean.
And also, what is extreme to one person might be completely normal and natural to another. So again, it's so different from one person to the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree. Every single person is different. I say that all the time.
Yeah. And it also goes for everything that is women's health, for example. Like in my consultations, I will have 3 people in front of me with the same issues, but still I will not recommend the same things because
they're different.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that you mentioned your consultations, do you want to talk about how you help people so that our audience today can know a little bit more?
Yeah, and what do you mean and how I help people? Like, how my consultations work?
Yeah, or how do you, what do you offer? Or just maybe you can give us an example of the kind of problems that they bring in and how you can help.
So the kind of problems that come in can be super different. Yeah. So I have women that come in for weight loss. Yeah. I have women that come in with fertility issues. I have women that come in because they don't have their periods anymore for a long time. And having periods is also part of having a healthy body. I mean, it's super important actually to have periods. Actually, it's more important to have ovulation, but usually a period comes after ovulation.
Exactly.
But that's and so I really have everything. I have also women that want to really perform well in sports or other women that want to have more energy. Can be super different. So how I work usually is that I do a first consultation of 1 hour more or less, where I'm really going to go over everything. So we're just going to do a whole checkup. And usually what I do is I'm going to start off with small tips. We're going to focus on 4 to 5 things that the patient or the client is going to focus on in the next few weeks. so that it's not too overwhelming.
Yeah.
The aim is really to build long-term habit changes. And so that they have to come to me, I don't know, like 3 or 4 times, and that after that they never have to go to see any other dietitian or nutritionist anymore, but that they really found something that suits them, that suits their lifestyle, that works for them. So that's basically how I work. In the first instance, I'm really going to focus on nutrition and lifestyle before starting with food supplements or anything like that, because I truly believe that we can find a lot in nutrition. But sometimes it can be interesting to supplement. Especially, for example, in the winter with vitamin D, or when you're a very stressful person with magnesium. Well, I mean, there are so many things that can...
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important what you said of 3 weeks or something like that, just to really take the time, because I find a lot of people finding for extreme changes, you know, like they want to change and they want to change it now, and if they don't see the result in like one try, they're like stressing, giving up. And also there are other people out there I've seen like offering this type of help and advices, which...
But and it's funny because sometimes I also have clients coming in saying, look, I want to lose like 5 kilos in a month, and I'm like, this is not going to be like, if you're losing 5 kilos in a month, this is not going to be long term. This is not something that's going to suit you. You're going to do a crash diet, you're going to lose the weight, and then it's just going to come back in a heartbeat. And so, like, just to take that example, so that is absolutely not something that I stand for. I'm really for the long term, but and that's fine if that's not something that suits you. I mean, it's finding the right dietitian or the right nutritionist that work for you as well. So.
Love it. It's beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about the menstrual cycles. What do you think, what's your best advices? I mean, it's a very big topic, but like a little bit on this podcast. How would you advise someone to get to know and understand their menstrual phases?
Yeah, that's super interesting. Well, first of all, if you are on hormonal contraception, you usually don't have a natural cycle. So it's very tough to understand where you could be. But if you have a natural cycle, there are multiple things that you can do. First of all is already analyze when your periods are. There are so many things that you can do. That you can check your temperature in the morning.
I do that.
You do that. So that's super interesting. There you can actually see if you had enough ovulation or not. You can check your cervix position. You can check your cervical mucus. So your like the white substitute that and then you can also just do the calendar methods just to see, okay, where am I having my periods? Where can my ovulation be? But I think it's so much more, like, that is nice. But I think it's so much more interesting to look at the 3 other things as well. Because there you're really going to see, okay, when am I ovulating? Am I actually ovulating? How long is my luteal phase? So the luteal phase is the phase between your ovulation and your periods. Because that is actually super important. If you have a very short luteal phase, you're probably gonna struggle with getting pregnant, as the fertilized egg won't like stick into your endometrium. There are so many different things that you can do to really get to know your cycle better. Those are a few tips.
Thank you so much for that. So I didn't want to interrupt you, but if you hear any background noise, that's a doggy. I'm taking care of a dog for a week, and if you hear it, it's him. So what you were saying, so I do the morning temperature, the basic temperature. I use natural cycles. I don't know if you know.
It's amazing.
And I was so amazed by how much I could learn of my menstrual cycle. So amazed. Like at the beginning, I was like, how much could I learn by the temperature?
But it's so I find it honestly super impressive how your temperature adapts. Like your body temperature is different in function of the different hormones that are getting produced. crazy how the human body works.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you also mentioned checking your cervix.
Yeah, cervical
position?
mucus. Your cervix position. Exactly.
Yeah. How do you do that?
With your fingers.
Oh, right. Okay, that's interesting. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know more about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to make a small break here to talk a little bit about Natural Cycles. Natural Cycles is a certified medical device that allows you to learn the unique pattern of your cycle with tailored updates and insights. It's a powerful, empowering, and effective option to understand your menstrual cycle and fertility. Moreover, Natural Cycles is a non-hormonal birth control that's side effect free and teaches you how to listen to your body. How I use my Natural Cycles is by measuring my body basal temperature every morning first thing before I get out of bed. With my discount code Finoula, you have a 20% off. All the information will be in the description box, and now let's continue with the episode. So at the beginning you mentioned, just like a few seconds ago, how much you can take from nutrition. Can you tell us about the impact of nutrition in our menstrual health?
Yes. So that is a very broad question. So I'm just going to try and focus on a few things which I think are very important when it comes to menstrual health. So first of all, let's talk about painful periods, for example. It's something that a lot of women struggle with. But painful periods is often a symptom of inflammation. For example, also women who have endometriosis, it's inflammation. So I would really focus on anti-inflammatory foods. So polyphenols, cruciferous vegetables, that's how you say it. Omega-3, so fatty acids, like healthy fats. What else? Turmeric is super, super interesting as well. There are so many different things that you can really implement in your food, which are going to help. Then there's another thing for inflammation not only for inflammation, but it's also for your cortisol levels, etc., is to really stabilize your blood sugar levels. So every single time that you have sugar, for example, try to combine it, or that you have carbs, or simple carbs, try to combine it with proteins or healthy fats in order for it not to spike your blood sugar levels too much and for it to get to drop too much, but to really stabilize it on the long run, and that you're not too hungry immediately after either. Because these things can have a huge impact. But those are I would say the two big topics that I address. But there are so many other things. Like if you have PCOS, there are food supplements that are so interesting, like inositol, like vitamin B. I don't know if you say inositol in English as well.
Inositol, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah. It's there are so many things.
That's super good to know. Super
but
good.
Anti-inflammatory foods, blood sugar levels, stabilize your blood sugar levels, with combining the right foods is super important.
Yeah. I have heard a lot of, how do you say it? They're not doctors, but I think they're coaches for womb health, saying that periods shouldn't be painful.
Yes.
That they're never supposed to be painful.
Yes.
What's your opinion on that?
I think that's right. If you are healthy, and you shouldn't have painful periods. If you're it depends. If they're really super painful that you cannot go to work, please go and see a gynecologist and really try and look deeper into what the cause might be. There might be a structural issue. There might be a hormonal imbalance. Honestly, don't take it just for okay, this is it. Yeah. It is okay to have every now and then a painful period. It can be that it's because you had a more stressful month, or because you have been eating a little bit less healthy. It's okay. I mean, it's not, you don't have to blame yourself for it, and it's totally fine. But if the pain continues, please, I would really recommend to dig deeper into it and not just accept it. And
that way.
And a lot of doctors like unfortunately gaslight a little bit, and they just don't take it seriously enough, which I think is a pity. I think they have their reasons as well, but go see multiple doctors if
get one more than one opinion. Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. I support that 100%.
That would be my biggest.
It's just that when I got my period, when was that? Was I 15, 14, 15, somewhere around there. And at the beginning it was fine, but then, oh my god, it was horrible. So horrible. Was so like, still today is painful, but not as painful as before.
Oh really?
It was horrible. Like, I fainted.
Oh wow. And did you find the cause of what it was?
So like, but very late.
Okay.
Very late. The beginning, it was normal. Periods are painful. So, just stay home, take care of yourself, put a warm, hot water bottle, and it will pass. And that's it. And like that every single month. And I was like, I just accepted that was,
Yeah,
and
the
then
same.
one time, because my mom also had like very strong periods. Yeah. But not as strong. So she was like suspicious. You know?
Okay.
So she decided to like change to my doctor.
Yeah.
And we found a gynecologist, which is still the same today, even though I'm like not in Spain anymore. And he decided to go deeper, and I had polycystic ovaries.
Okay. Yeah. Crazy, huh? How not all gynecologists. We say that you have to go like to 4 doctors. Yeah. Like in like the average. The average is to go to 4 doctors before you get the diagnosis of PCOS or endometriosis, which is
it's crazy.
It's so much.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I don't know, maybe a few doctors are not really aware of what it is, or they have struggles finding it, or I don't know, but it's good that you dig deeper, like that your mom helped you too, and that she believed you. Yeah. We often, like, for me it's the same. It's funny because my mom also struggled with painful periods when she was younger, and so when my sister and I had painful periods when we were younger, she's like, oh, but it's genetics, like it's normal. And I'm like, no. Like now today, I'm like, nah, not totally normal.
No, I have like a mixed opinion about it. Like, I do know there's something wrong if there's a very big pain, as you said. Like if it's completely painful that you're not able to go to work, then have it checked. But also, it not for every woman, but I mean the pain, but the process of the period itself.
Shedding your
exactly.
I think that you're shedding.
You're shedding, and you are also contracting. Yeah, so it's the contraction. That hurts sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is very important for other women to know. Yeah. I don't want women to accept that period should be painful, because no, but if it hurts a bit, like it hurts for me sometimes, sometimes not, it hurts every single time, but it's just like the first 2 days, which was not like that years ago. It was it was 8 days of period and 8 days of
pain,
horrible pain, feeling like I was going to faint every single time.
8 days is long.
It's so long.
And also, like, it's long periods. Usually it's like
and
4
now
or
it's
5.
like 5 days.
Yeah,
because I have a healthy period right now. It's 5 days, and the pain is only the first 2 days. Yeah. The third maybe a bit, but first 2 days only, and that's it. And it's completely different to what it was before. So that's why I really wanted to ask you this question, because I feel it's very important.
I think having a little pain is okay, but it's also very interesting to question yourself. Okay, but is it because I ate differently? Is it, what did I do differently? And like, what is the reason that I'm like, I see it. Sometimes I still have painful periods, and I can really pinpoint why it is. And I think that is important to really know, okay, it's fine, I'm hurting, but I know where it comes from. Where it comes from, and maybe next time I'm gonna be more careful. And what I think is very important is really the 2 weeks just before your periods. Those are, like, I believe the most crucial ones to avoid period pain.
Yeah.
We also say that our eggs start forming 3 months before, when we ovulate. So we often say you have to, like when you do, for example, a diet change or anything, wait at least 3 months before seeing actual results.
What foods would you suggest? Maybe not what foods, but like maybe how can people tell what foods are the best ones for each phase?
I find that a very tricky question because I truly believe you have to listen to your body.
Yeah.
If you're hungry, please eat.
Yeah.
And if you start to listening to your body, you will probably see that, for example, the 2 weeks before your period, you're gonna want more comfort foods, more like warm foods, more like more proteins, more healthy fats, like more consistency. Whilst when you're in your follicular phase and of your ovulation, you're more gonna want to go for like salads and very, I would say, more
soft.
Yes, soft and yeah. Also, when you're in your menstruation, for example, your body is gonna burn much more calories than when you're in your like follicular phase, for example. So you're gonna your body is going to want to eat more. So it's totally fine, and we need to stop feeling guilty for being hungry when we get our menstruation or just before menstruation. It's totally fine. But please respond to that as well. Like a lot of people are going to continue restricting, but by restricting, you're going to put so much stress, like extra stress on your body, and it's going to have like a bad effect. So I would say really try and respond to that, but choose healthy foods. If you have a craving for something, try and respond to that craving, but try and make it like healthy or like the thing that you're craving. Eat it, but try and make it healthy. Yeah. And that is also what I'm trying to do with for example, on my Instagram, I try to give little recipes that can make, for example, brownies more healthy and like more of a better option than what you would usually go for.
Love that.
So that would be my main like intake is really listen to your body. Green veggies are always a good option. Polyphenols and everything are super antioxidants. So go for that. Go for anti-inflammatory foods.
So what would you say are your absolute musts self-care practices for menstrual health? Like if you had to choose, you would be like this ones. For me personally, would be like everything that is meditation, yoga, because I think stress nowadays is so present, and stress is honestly a hormone killer. It is.
And it is so important to find like moments or like, in your day where you can completely like shut off your brain and just think about nothing and just like breathe. There are like doing breathing exercises as well. It can be super interesting. That meditation, yoga, but like it really, going for a walk.
Fresh air. Fresh air.
Going outside every day. That's why, for example, here in Brussels, I always recommend to my friends to take an electric bike. It changes your life, honestly, because you are not in your car all the time in the traffic. You're not in a car all the time in the traffic jams. You really get to spend some time outside to also clear your head. But fresh air is so important.
It is. So that's how you came here on the electric bike?
Nice. Good. Honestly, Brussels is very like this. So I find it such like it's the best decision to take an electric bike because I had a normal bike before, but I was so unmotivated to take it because I would always arrive super sweaty, and now it's like
it's okay.
I don't feel it anymore. It's
that Brussels is like very hilly. Like hills up and down.
Exactly.
It is. So there's some streets that I'm walking and I'm like, oh my god, I need to stop. What is this? I feel like I'm going up a mountain. That's when I realized I need to work on my cardio or something. Like there's something wrong.
Cardio is important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And sweating every now and then also is important to get your toxins out, and drinking a lot of water as well.
Absolutely.
There are so many things.
Yeah. I know there's one that it's probably one of your favorites. I don't know, correct me. But you talked a lot about this on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You love proteins in the morning for your breakfast, right? Okay. Yes. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I think proteins in the morning are super important and something that we, especially in Belgium, forget. In Belgium, we love eating sweets, like sugary in the morning. But it really sets, like it will determine your day. Like if you eat sweet in the morning, you're often going to have much more cravings during the day, much more you're going to be much more attracted to sugar throughout the day. And you're going to eat much more as well. But by eating proteins in the morning, you're first of all going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels. But also, like protein like tyrosine, is that how you say it in English? Tyrosine is gonna help you produce dopamine and noradrenaline, which are two neurotransmitters that are super important for like feeling good and So those are like the two biggest reasons why I always recommend having proteins in the morning.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah,
I have like. I always go crazy, like I don't know what to do because I love breakfast, but I also love fasting in the morning. Oh, okay. So I'm like, some days I'm like, today is breakfast, and others
I'm fasting. Yeah. But it's funny because intermittent fasting is such a big topic, and it's so how do you say it? It's a trend.
It's a trend, yeah. I don't like when health
becomes a trend.
Yeah, because they do it from the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, I'm not a huge fan of intermittent fasting. I'm not going to recommend it, but if it's something that suits you, that works for you and it makes you feel like it gives you energy, etc., why not do it? Yeah. But it comes back to listen to your body. If you are hungry in the morning, please eat, because the thing is, if you're not going to eat and if you're going to wait for too long, you're going to have huge cravings after. Your body is going to be like, okay, now I need to eat. Like, give me everything. Yeah. And so, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's the reasons also for doing intermittent fasting.
A lot of people want to lose weight.
Exactly. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I don't agree with keto diet and intermittent fasting being used for losing weight. No, it's the wrong reasons.
I like that.
Also you want to eat well.
Yeah.
Because for instance, when I fast, I'm sleeping.
Ah, okay, yeah. That's interesting.
Exactly. So I'm not suffering. I'm not putting myself into suffer.
Yeah.
You know? Like I see a lot of people, I mean, I have done 24 hours fasting, but that's when I'm at home resting. I'm not working out. I'm not going out. I'm not putting my body into working because that for me that is not healthy.
No, I think so too. It's so much stress again on your body.
Exactly. And you're making it have a higher effort. So for me with intermittent fasting, I love it. But again, you need to be very careful.
Yeah.
With how you do it, the reasons that you do it, and who you listen.
Yeah.
You know? Because, I mean, this is another topic because it's a very broad topic. But intermittent fasting, in my opinion, should be done only to make your immune system stronger. But, like, not every single day. So, like, you do fasting for 24 hours or 48 hours. The amount of hours are going to affect the different part of your organs. So
That's
it's really, so it's really what organs you want to actually make work that day that you should decide the hours.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and intermittent fasting, it's like, so it's not for that, it's less. So I have my dinner, I go to bed, I sleep. I just skip my breakfast, but then I'm having lunch. So really the amount of hours that my body is without food, it doesn't notice because I'm sleeping and I'm not putting extra like work or, you know?
Yeah, I like that. And also, like, there are a lot of studies on intermittent fasting, but I think nothing has been really, like, concluded of it.
This is very new.
it's very new. But yeah, I think so too. And if like for me personally, when I would like, if I would ever do intermittent fasting, it would be like having a very early dinner and then maybe like eating maybe later in the morning, like at 10 a.m.
For sure.
But
that's perfect. That's intermittent fasting.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that is like more like a healthy balance. Because I know a lot of people that eat super late and then like in the evening and then they're gonna fast. But the problem is then you're gonna have to fast like until 2 p.m. and
the problem is when if your body's not used to it, because if your body's used to it, like if you're going to, I always say this, if you're going to do intermittent fasting for the first time in your life, do not do this. Start by like super little, small hours, and then you go from there and you see, you test. For me, it's always very important for you to test. Test what would you say? What works for you? Is very important. But but I agree. We have to be very careful with this.
And also often we say that like the fact that you're not hungry in the morning might be an indication of, for example, too high cortisol levels, because you're constantly under stress, so you're not hungry in the morning, which is, I think, also interesting. Why would we then promote? I don't know. It's a tricky subject.
Yeah, that's interesting actually, because I have days where I'm like not hungry whatsoever.
In the morning.
Then I have days that I'm like starving, and then I have days which I call the healthy days, which I'm like in the middle. You know, like I could eat, but I'm also okay without it. You know. But but I also, there's something that I have been wanting to do some research about. The earlier that I wake up, the hungrier that I am.
Okay, kind of makes sense.
Where that is coming from.
Is it also linked with the number of hours that you slept? Because we often say that when you're very tired, you're going to try and find your energy elsewhere. So you're going to try and find it in food, for example?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. Whenever I got up earlier, I was like, oh my god, why am I so hungry?
Oh, that's interesting,
Because I wake up later and I'm like...
But I often see that, and I often actually see that with my clients, when they don't sleep a lot and they're super tired, they're gonna eat much more. Because they're looking for energy and like another source of energy, so they're going to find it in food instead of in their sleep.
No, that I have experienced, but I'm not able to tell you the other part.
For the early mornings. I don't know.
Okay, right, so another thing that I wanted to talk with you is about balancing hormones, which I think you briefly mentioned before. So you think balancing hormones is a very important part of having a healthy menstrual cycle, right?
Completely.
Do you have any, like, I mean, again, this topic is so broad, but any tips?
To balance out your hormones? Well, I think we've already talked a little bit about it, but for sure, like having healthy diet, having a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle.
Because it's food. Right? And it's also like stress, sports, sleep. People, toxins as well, like the products that you use. We haven't really talked about that, but like endocrine disruptors have a huge role on balanced hormones. Yeah, absolutely. Like nowadays we see that there's estrogen dominance in our waters and everything can have a huge impact on our health. We see, for example, just for a little anecdote, we see that there are much more female fish in the seas and in the waters than male fish. Oh really?
Which is
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's it's going to really become a huge issue.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in plastics you have a lot of xenoestrogens, so they're how do you explain that? They are gonna imitate estrogen. Yeah. So they're gonna act as right. And so they that is why we see that estrogen dominance, and we see also so many women that are struggling with hormone issues because of that.
Oh my god.
And women, like endometriosis is often also due to these kind of hormonal imbalances. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is something it's really important to be aware about this.
Mm.
So yeah, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, but you already mentioned it earlier, it's about the pill.
Yeah.
So before you mentioned that whenever you are with a pill, you do not have a natural cycle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you like to talk a little bit more about that? So I feel a lot of women are starting now to become aware of how harmful the pill can actually be.
So before going like deeper into that, I do want to say I'm not against the pill. I think the pill has offered a lot of great things for women. It's a huge part of our emancipation. So nothing against it. But I think that the pill is often given for the wrong reasons or like other hormonal contraception. For example, me, I was given the pill when I was 16 years old because of my acne. I was absolutely not sexually active at the time. And so, I was given this at 16 years old. I only quit the pill. I was 27. Yes. I was just going to turn 28. So I took it for like 12 years, which is so long. And I think it's such a pity because I wasn't aware of the impact of the pill. I wasn't aware of what else I could do. Like nobody informed me on the subject. And if I had known, I think I would have digged deeper into the subject at the time instead of just immediately going on the pill. It's really just going to mask all your symptoms. It's not going to really address the root cause of why you're having those issues. And that is what I think is wrong with the pill today, is that it's given for so many different reasons, which I think is wrong.
I agree. You know, I was given the pill because of my polycystic ovaries. So to treat that. Yeah.
We often do that.
Yeah. And then when I remember my gynecologist.
Gynecologist.
When he mentioned like, okay, your polycystic ovaries are done. I mean, they're treated. You could go off the pill if you want. But at the time I had a boyfriend. And it was not even my decision. It was like our decision to stay with the pill.
Yeah, but I think that like today there are so many different ways also to track our cycle with, for example, natural cycles, with fertility awareness methods. I truly believe in fertility awareness methods, but the problem is they have to be done right, and they are often not done right. Unfortunately. And then, of course, there's a huge risk of getting pregnant. But if you do it right, if you check your temperature, if you check your cervical mucus, if you check the position of your cervix, and then there's absolutely, like, the chance of getting pregnant is even lower than with the pill. But it's important to do it well. And, for example, people who have PCOS who don't have, like, a regular cycle or, it's important to really know your body well because just doing the calendar methods, it's not it's not accurate enough. Like you have to be super careful with that.
Absolutely. I agree. Wonderful. Love it. Okay, so the last thing, you have your own products, which I love, by the way.
Thank you.
So would you like to tell the audience what they are and just like briefly the function of those?
So I have 6 products. I have 3 blends, and then I have 1 pea protein and then 2 mix of seeds. So I'm going to start off with the blends. I have the Miracle Morning, which is a blend with matcha with some adaptogens. So matcha, the Miracle Morning, I really created it because I'm not a fan of coffee. I think coffee is way too acid for your, like, acid, is that how you say it? For your body. So I really recommend going for something like that is softer, which is matcha. Plus it's full of polyphenols, super antioxidants.
It's super antioxidant.
So it's
super anti-cancer. Voilà.
Sorry. No, it's an amazing, honestly, matcha is amazing. I actually got to know matcha when I lived in Japan like back in the days. And amazing product. And then the adaptogens, I have them on all of my blends. Adaptogens are actually, they can be mushrooms, they can be roots that are going to help your body adapt to stress, environmental stress, your personal stress, and so on. And I think it's amazing. There are not enough studies done on the subject yet, unfortunately, but they have been used for ages. So it's, I truly believe in them, and I see how my clients are really reacting to them. So I can really see like the impact of these products. Then we have the Sweet Elixir, which is with cacao, super antioxidant as well. Also adaptogens. This is really one that I recommend for people that are super anxious or super stressed with work, that really need to relax. It's a good one to take, for example, when you're struggling with PMS, because it's high in magnesium as well. So
absolutely. So happy to I got all of her products, by the way, 'cause that's me. But yeah, I read about this on your website, and I also did my own research, and I struggle quite a lot in my PMS.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually happy to have that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I hope you'll feel the effects. And then the last blend that I have is the Golden Rush. We already talked about turmeric, that it's super anti-inflammatory. So this one was a must in the blends. I'm a big fan of turmeric. I think it's something that we should take every single day. But especially during your period, it can be super interesting if you have like painful periods. I really recommend. For sure. And then I have the pea proteins. Of course, we talked about the importance of proteins. That's why I really wanted to have a protein that you can add, for example, if you're making brownies, add some proteins to it. It has zero taste, so it's super easy. And then there is also 2 mix of seeds. There is 1 mix of seed to take during the first phase of your cycle, so during your follicular phase, which is going to help the production of estrogen. And then there is a blend of seeds that you have to take the last 2 weeks of your cycle, so during your luteal phase, to increase the production of progesterone. So it's going to help you balance your hormones, decrease PMS. And also if you have no period, it can actually be very interesting to try and imitate a cycle with those blends, like with the seeds, to try and help your body to get to ovulation.
Beautiful. You mentioned Beat It?
The Just Beat It is it's getting out of the... I'm stopping the Just Beat It.
Really? Why?
Because I had the impression it was too complicated to understand like the 4 different blends.
Okay.
And so I decided to stop it for now. Maybe at one point I'll take it back. I'm not sure yet. But for now
I don't know. It's okay. Everything's a process.
Yeah.
Do you know that turmeric is also a natural antibiotic?
Oh, really? Interesting.
I know.
Even better.
I was so amazed. Yeah, I'm also quite obsessed with turmeric.
Yeah, for me, honestly, turmeric is like one of the best things that you can do for your health. Add it every single day. You could even make like little shots with like fresh turmeric and fresh ginger, for example.
You know, there is this magical infusion that I call it whenever I have a cold. It's hot water with lemon, turmeric, ginger.
Yeah, for me that's like
a bit of honey, just in case it's too spicy.
It's very strong,
and that helps me with the cold. I mean, like
that's amazing.
Mild cold. I'm not talking like the flu.
Yeah, I really wanted to do a real or a sort of recipe how to make those little shots or because I think they're so beneficial for your health as well.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Love it. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to leave everything linked about her Instagram, your website, the products. You've got 10% discount with my code, which I will leave down below. So would you like to share anything else before closing?
I don't know. If you guys have any questions, you can always send me a little private message on Instagram. I'm always available. And I don't know if I have anything else. Just, don't be too hard on yourself. Listen to your body. Love your body. I think that's the most important. If you are able to love your body and to give it love, the rest will follow. I think.
Love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was really nice.
I loved it. I loved our conversation.
Yeah.
And for the rest of you, I hope you're doing well, and I'll catch you soon on the next episode.